Good morning and welcome. Happy Monday. It's your early morning intuitive guidance, ready to set the tone for your day and your week. I'm Dr. Bonnie Nussbaum here with some words of wisdom. And today we have a chapter from Outrageous Openness, Letting the Divine Take the Lead by Tosha Silver. And I was actually looking for something rather specific today because today's one of those days where three things. Good morning, Nancy. Welcome. Good morning, Joe Neal. Hello, hello. Three things out of my, what did I have? Maybe 6 or 7 things on the agenda today. 3 of them changed. 3 of them. It's like, okay, roll with it. Let's see how this goes. So I was looking for a specific chapter because there's also a little edge today I'm feeling of discouragement, disappointment. Like, okay, I'm doing all the things. When is something going to unfold here? And then I got up and today was hair washing day because you don't wash this mop all the time or you end up with a fright wig. Well, it's bordering on fright wig anyway. So I thought, one of these days I have to have a haircut scheduled. Sure as heck. Thursday. So I'm going to maybe lop off a couple of inches because it's getting warm and too much hair is not a good thing. So let's see. This chapter that we have for today, I picked it on purpose because, again, it feels like a little bit of fretting about things over which A, I have no control, and B, will unfold in divine right timing and divine right order as they are wont to do, right? So we're going to read the chapter about the God jar. Fabulous little God jar, God box, God whatever. It doesn't, universe box, soul box, spirit box, whatever you want to call it. But the important thing, I think, is getting the energetic sense of this particular tool, because it is so helpful. And I think it's hilarious also that I marked the page with my to-do list for today. That was interesting. That was a Freudian little deal. Good morning, Beth. Welcome. Glad you are here. We are doing a chapter from Tosha Silver. It's actually chapter 4. And the chapter itself is entitled Following the Inner Lead. And this particular chapter is called Think Inside the Box. Think inside the box. And as always, we have 2 quotes at the beginning. And I always think those are the best chapters when there's 2 quotes at the beginning. So, first quote is from Carl Jung, the original Jungian analyst, right? Bidden or unbidden, God is present. Good morning, Gwen. Glad you're here. Welcome. And the second quote is again one of my favorite quotes for Albert Einstein. A problem cannot be solved by the same level of consciousness that created it. We need to transcend. So here's Tosha's words. I grew up a perpetual worrier. Perhaps from having a sensitive Pisces mother who always anticipated the next disaster, or from being an East Coast Jew. In any case, by the time I turned 25, I was literally making myself sick with fear. Anybody else can relate? To survive myself, I had to change. One of the first techniques I learned was the God box. Mine's a jar. It can be whatever. It can be an empty Kleenex box. Does not matter. You simply write down your worries and pop them into some kind of container, as simple or elegant as you wish. It's just a little jar that, I don't know, probably had candy or something in it. Whenever a new worry comes up, into the box it goes. You don't even need a clear concept of God to do this. You could make the offering to your own highest wisdom, or to the force that keeps the birds aloft in the sky. Doesn't matter. Good morning, Mel. We are doing the God box today. Sounds simplistic, but honestly it works. If the problem torments you again, you remember, it's in the box. It's done. Like we've turned it over. The AA concept of turning it over to God. I can't manage this. My life is out of control. I'll let you carry it for a while. You can also add as many other problems as you wish, because studies show the mind recalibrates in 21 days. Try to reliably submit a particular worry for at least that long. I found that I can just stick it in the box and pretty much be done with it. Good morning, Angie. Welcome. Glad you are here. We are doing the God box today. Jar, whatever. There it is. Filled with stuff I no longer need to worry about. I'm going to add a few more things when we're done here. So, let's see. During that period of offering, solutions often spontaneously arise. Have you had that happen? You've worried, tried to figure something else out. It's not coming together, blah, blah, blah. Finally, you just say, oh, to hell with it. And then it solves itself. It solves itself. We don't solve it. It solves itself. Or the universe gives us whatever we need for it to be solved. But yeah, we like to think we solve all these problems, but not so much, probably. When the mind is no longer grasping for an answer, space opens. Take a breath. When the mind is no longer grasping for an answer, space opens. The box gives room for a divine plan, even in impossible messes. Even in impossible messes. I first used the box when I was crazily looking for a new apartment one summer. Friends kept helpfully reminding me that the vacancy rate in the Bay Area was at an all-time low of 3%, and that the odds of finding a decent, affordable place were next to nil. Good morning, Ruth Ann. Glad you are here. Good morning, good morning. But the teacher who had suggested the box insisted, and I love this part, you ready? Odds and percentages didn't matter one whit. What matters was the offering. What matters was the offering. With a sense of bemused curiosity, I scrawled my first note and slipped it in. I am now being guided to the right apartment at the right time. It's already handled. I like that last sentence. It's already handled. Okay? Out in the cosmos somewhere, the prototype for what it is you're needing is already winging its way to you. Divine right timing, divine right order. Within a month, my veterinarian asked offhandedly as she checked my kitten for ear mites, "You still need a spot, right? I know one." She was right. 15 years later, I'm still there. After a while, you start trusting the process. You realize the details of the solution are irrelevant since those will be revealed. What matters is offering the problem over with a sincere, consistent heart. The box is also a perfect complement to divine order, allowing you to have a sacred place to store your prayers and statements if you wish that. For some practical-minded people, having a concrete place really helps. So what do you have to lose but anxiety? Or doubt, or fear, or any of the things that keep us in the muck and mire. And right now, again, we're being stirred into the muck and mire if we're not cautious about what we allow exposure to, right? If you're watching Fox News, I'm going to guess that you've got a whole lot of anxiety going on. If you're doom scrolling on social media, I'm going to guess you've got a lot of anxiety, fear, anger, the whole shebang going on. What if you allowed yourself a divine break from that for a short period of time, just to notice how that feels? What I've experienced myself and with clients is there's a huge relief and almost a returning to some normalcy when you're not inundating yourself with that stuff, right? So crank out the God jar, put some stuff in it, take a step back from the impingement of all of the news. And some of you may say, well, I need to know what's going on. How about if you trust that what you need to know about will come to you in divine right timing and divine right order? I find I get the news. It's not like I'm missing out on stuff, but someone will say something and we'll have a conversation about it. Or I'll be walking through a building and overhear it on a radio. Or if I need to know something, it'll show up. Good morning, Betty. Glad you're here. Welcome, welcome. So let's go back to our God jar. Let's make it front and center for the day, the week, however long you choose to do it. But let's start putting some things in there again that we want to turn over to God, either because we don't have control over it in the first place, or we don't know what the heck to do about it, or solutions haven't been seeming to come. But again, I'm going to go back to the quote, because I think out of one of our most brilliant minds came these brilliant words. A problem cannot be solved by the same level of consciousness that created it. Albert Einstein. We need to transcend that level of consciousness, rise up, and solutions will appear. Answers will come. Divine right timing, not our timing. So let's take a breath together. Let it go. You got this. We got this. We can do this. We'll just keep going. Paying attention to the signs and the signals, making appropriate steps, and allowing. All right, we'll see you again tomorrow. Have an awesome Monday. Remember, you are capable of far more than you think you are, including turning it over. Bye-bye.